Hey, thank you so much for watching. We're finishing our series on love vision, seeing through the eyes of love. And last week we talked about the woman caught in adultery that the religious leaders threw in front of Jesus and said, what are you going to do? And I want to finish, I kind of did part 1 and part 2, so this is part 2 today. And last week we talked about time being an integral part of the expression seeing through genuine love, that Jesus took time. But I also want you to think about the woman caught in the act of adultery. The religious leaders throw in front of Jesus in the temple, in front of a crowd of people, and they accuse her and they say, hey, she's caught. And they're condemning her. According to the law, she needs to be stoned because she's violated the Mosaic law. And so they say to Jesus, what are you going to do? And so Jesus stoops over, writes in the sand, takes his time. He stands up and says, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. So then Jesus bends over and starts writing in the sand again. And it says here in verses 1 through 12 that the religious leaders, one by one, walked away, starting with the oldest down to the youngest. And I think when we see through the eyes of love, we come to terms with what's in our own heart and in our own soul. That each of us, without Jesus, we're sinful. With Jesus, we're forgiven. And when we see through Jesus' eyes, we see through the eyes of love. And it's interesting because each of these religious leaders, they left because they took an inventory of their own soul. And they're like, yep, I'm a sinner. I blew it here, and I had this evil thought, I said this mean thing, I did this bad action. They started to take inventory of themselves, and they left. And so Jesus, they all left one by one, until finally it's just Jesus left with this woman and the crowd he was teaching. And Jesus says to the woman, woman, where are your accusers? Does no one condemn you? And the woman replies to him, no one, Lord. And Jesus says to her, I don't condemn you either. Go and sin no more. And I want us to be really careful and aware that genuine love is not an accusation, is not condemnation, and does not distort or deceive. And these religious leaders had all of those things going on. They were condemning the woman, they were accusing the woman, and they were deceived. You're like, how are they deceived? Because they only brought the woman caught in adultery. It takes two. Why didn't they bring the guy? Hello? That's deception. And I just want to say this to you. Condemnation, accusation, and deception is all what the enemy, what Satan does. That's the enemy's methodology. That's the enemy's tools. And the enemy's end game, Satan, wants to kill, wants to steal, and wants to annihilate. And when we participate in accusing and condemning and accusation, we're in the enemy's territory. We're that tool, that weapon, that method. Because Jesus forgives, Jesus heals, Jesus reconciles, because Jesus is genuine love. So family, I really want to encourage you and me that we receive God's love. God loves us. When we're not loving well other people on the outside, then let's back up the train and get in front of God loving us. Because God does love you. Not based on what you do or you don't do. And I'm really grateful, I think you should be too, that we don't control God's love. When we're good, God doesn't love us more. When we're bad, God doesn't love us less. God loves us the same because that's who God is. God's not controlled. We don't get to increase or decrease, turn the knob up or down. God loves us. And Jesus demonstrates that very clearly here and clearly in his life. So we are loved. God loves us. And we can say it cliche, yeah, I know God loves me. But I think sometimes from time to time, we need to take a pause and get some time with God and put ourselves in front of genuine love to receive, to be loved by God. God immensely loves you. That's what Jesus did. He loved this woman. And because of his love, he forgave her and gave her power to stop sinning. But love is the thing that changes everything. It's the pendulum. It's the thing that absolutely, completely is the catalyst for seeing life through accurate vision. Taking off the night vision goggles, seeing dimly, and seeing clearly through the lens of love. That's my prayer for you and for me today, that we see through the lens of love, not distortion, not through accusation, and not through condemnation. That's what these guys did, the religious leaders, but we see through genuine love. You are loved, and you can see through the eyes of love. Thank you so much for watching this series. I want to encourage you, give me some feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down. Need to subscribe because, that's phenomenal. And here's your joke, that we love these jokes. I know. What is brown and sticky? What's brown and sticky? A stick. You're like, that was so lame. I know, but next week will be far better. Thank you again for watching.